We did reach a resolution. My understanding of the plea is my client would be pleading guilty to the original count of domestic violence that would be deferred under 769-4A with a 6-month probationary term. And then the people did agree at the end of that probationary term that my client's firearm that was taken as part of her arrest would be returned.
Your Honor, the application of legal counsel is correct and accurate. Judge, we know that you made the call on sentencing. We're hoping here that you'll sentence immediately. We have our victim here.
Okay. Okay.
Secondly, Judge, turns out sentencing. At least the first meeting with probation, first month in reporting, and then probation into determine whether she needs additional.
Okay. Ms. Belcher, you okay with an immediate sentencing, or do you think we need to do a PSI?
We would be okay with immediate sentencing, and that would allow her to have that deferral enter faster so that she could obtain employment.
Okay. All right. Ms. Lagarde, you understand your rights and options? You understand your rights and options. You understand the possible penalty for the charge. And understanding all of this, are you pleading guilty to the charge? Are you doing so freely and voluntarily? Ms. Belcher, would you voir dire to get me my facts? November 25 is the offense date.
Yes. And that's November 25th, 2025. We're in App near a location of 38590 Abilene, A-B-I-L-E and E Street in the city of Romans, County of Wayne. Yes. Ma'am, and is it true at that location that you would resided with an individual by the name of Leah, last name of Kay? Yes. Okay. And you guys were roommates? Yes. And is it true, ma'am, that on that day that you guys got into a verbal altercation? Yes. And at some point during that verbal altercation, is it true that you put your hands on Miss McKay without her permission? Yes. Is that so?
So it's the court. What should I know before I sentence Ms. Belcher?
Would you like to bring the
You don't have to jump up. I'm sorry, say that again.
would you like to bring the victim's impact statement before?
I don't care either way. Victim, where's victim at? Victim?
Sure. Her name is Leah McKay. She's here.
Ms. McKay, is there anything you want me to know before I sentence?
But I can tell you that the defendant and the complaining witness were best friends for a long time. They put together. They had a great friendship, and they still like one another. So maybe you can help me.
I feel like there was a misunderstanding. And it could have been communicated a little bit better, but we don't have to be here. Boundaries were crossed that didn't need to be crossed. I'm heartbroken right now talking to you. I don't want to ruin her life. I don't want her to have to deal with this for the rest of her. She has 2 children that I look at like my nieces. I love Miss Lagarde. I hate that we here. So please, I don't want you to be super hard on it. And that's just me as a friend and sister, dog. I want to see her win. I want to see her do good in life. I don't want to see her down bad or in a bad position. We always been there for each other. I'm talking about drop up a call. And I will always be there for her. And I just want you to know that. There's no ill.
Oh, I appreciate it.
No ill will to her turn. I could have made a bad decision that night too. I chose not to, and that's why we're here. I love you, Lord. At the end of the day, that's what I have to say.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Your Honor, Ms. Lagarde was arrested and charged with the that has been pending on her record for quite some time. As the court may recall, I'm not the original attorney.
Yeah.
She did have to get counsel for whatever reason with the original attorney. We did have some delays with the trial date that were attributed to me and my surgery. One we attributed to the people because we converted the trial date to a final pretrial. Ms. Lagarde did accept responsibility for her actions. As you've heard, these 2 individuals were best friends. However, because of the amount of time that this case has been pending, Ms. Lagarde has lost her job. She has not been able to get employment.
Where was she working?
I was working for Evolution. I was a game presenter for FanDuel.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
As you've heard, she has 2 small children that she's responsible for. She's now 3 months behind on her rent. She's in a very bad spot financially. We would ask that Your Honor take that into consideration. She did accept responsibility in this matter for her actions. This was something that probably escalated, that should have never escalated on both sides. And if they work this out in the future going forward, hopefully they never have this issue again. what I would like to see happen is if the court could waive any of the fines and costs so that Mr. Lucardi doesn't fall any further.
Shocked. I'm shocked, I say.
You know me too well, Judge.
Go ahead.
But as the people had indicated, they wanted Ms. Lagarde to report for at least one of those probationary visits. She has not had any bond violations. She has no criminal history. I don't know how much supervision she really needs, Your Honor, but she's willing to comply and not break any laws for 6
Right.
months. But I would ask after that first visit, if there's no issues, that you convert it to non-reporting probation.
Where you living?
She, if I may. I'm
Yeah, that's all right.
mother's address on the advice and rights form. She does have a separate address, just due to the relationship between these two individuals right now. If it's okay, you can tell the court off the record.
Geographically. I don't need an address. Okay, all right. And you're not working now?
I think it would be like it's to her.
Okay, so the tangent alert. Okay, this got nothing to do with sentencing. Before you get out of my building, go down and talk to Avery Taylor, and if he's at lunch, get a card so you can call him and ask him about jobs in the area. All right? Tissue boy.
We're gonna have that to.
You got one right in front of you. All right, is there anything you want me to consider before I sentence you?
Yeah, it was, well, I just want the court to know that I'm truly sorry for this time. I'm so embarrassed. My two little girls mean everything to me. The only thing I feel like I'm really lacking is I can't pay these bills. Like, I can't catch up since this. I am taking them to Florida on Thursday. We'll be gone for 4 days. We deserve to laugh. So I just want to say thank you for your time.
Okay. Miss McKay, she's under my thumb. I can make her do some things. I want you to do some things. You guys willing to go to a couple sessions of counseling together?
It's supposed to be like we can sit down and have a conversation.
Does she need anger management? All right, here's what I'm going to sentence you to do then. Miss McKay, come on up here. Get her, Joe. Come on, all the way. Okay. You guys spend my $25 gift card, spread it out over as much time as you can, and have some sessions, just you two girls. Find somebody for the kids, okay? You're gonna, what's that? Say, I didn't hear you.
Sir, I need someone there, like, don't get me.
You okay with that? Who's it gonna be?
Whoever, I don't care.
Who you want? Who's gonna have the kids? Okay, yeah. You got daycare.
Good driver and dad, our husband, yeah.
Okay, all right. So the three of you women are gonna, and like I said, I don't want you to go blow my $25 all at once,
I'll give her the card.
all right? But you guys, and you're gonna give me a report. We met on this day, we spoke for this long, you don't have to give me details. And when we met on this day, I want you to give me a report. You're court ordered to do that. She's gonna be you're, raise your right hand. You swear affirm to be a temporary probation officer for the 34th District Court?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. She's my probation officer. She's gonna keep you on track on this. Okay? Can we do this? If you, you're gonna come back too. We're gonna actually sentence you to come back for a 6-month review. You'll set it up. Ms. Belcher will set it up. And the two of you can bring mom too. Love to meet mom. The two of you are going to stand in front of me at the end of 6 months and you're going to give me a report on what the relationship is. And then I'll decide whether or not I'm going to dismiss this. All right. So I want to see a real strong effort from both of you to put this as far behind you as the East is from the West. Then it won't have to affect her life because we'll dismiss it at the end of 6 months. You can buy her the t-shirt that says been there, done that, and it's done. Okay. We good?
We're good.
I was going to order 4 days on the work program for you, but these tears have just weakened me. I'm getting ready to noodle down.
She don't deserve that. Look at her. Don't
Okay.
be on the side of no road.
You good?
We're good.
You made my day.
Um,
This is what grace looks like.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Go away before I start crying.
You want to save the submittal contact provisions listed?
I think we probably should. All right. Enjoy my exorbitant gift card. Good day, all. Oh, for the record, no costs. I'm looking forward to that report, Ms. Belcher.
Thank you.
This is yours. Thank you, gentlemen.
The prosecutor does say closer to the year. Judge Marks keeps us opposite.
Yeah,
That's the rules.
Right.
Prosecutor closer to the jury. I had to do a COVID socially distanced jury once it was horrible. They actually put us in a smaller courtroom than normal. I don't know why. But like, it was closer. I was like here and the closest juror was like somehow closer than this. We had a partition between us, but they could hear, I couldn't say
on the right hand side.
anything. Because they could hear everything, they were that close, it was so frustrating.
Well, it's just fancy.
Yeah, no, they didn't, because the special courtroom they designed with partitions, but it was so stupid to give us more than what we did. Why is this? For a 12-person penalty period too.
But the chair is leaning, the chair is down, you have just a chair.
I hated it, I like to do that.
Yeah, all your knobs right there.
And there's actually somebody coming
No, on the right side, huh?
before started.
And the chair is leaning forward.
Right, okay.
Just play with it. You got that, let me start check.
It was kind of funny though, before we started, the judge, you're just like generally worried about COVID, feeling.
If the chair
Once
is
they raise their hand and then the judge.
right there, you down on the right hand side, right?
And then people started looking around and slowly more and more hands just started.
You gotta just like, just play with it. And see how it works for you. You know,
Yeah, right.
they're right there, so you.
I was going.
I can't just it, I must say that. Yes, Jack, you used to judge Marvin's court.
Yeah, they said no. And they said.
I wonder if they had to bring it out. They probably couldn't get anybody from NDS to address that.
Deciding.
Thank you, Glenn. Good morning. Have a seat. Have a seat. Yeah, you're right. Have a seat. I saw you in here when I walked by and I thought the prosecutors were in here too. No, I saw you there and I thought you were talking to them, so I figured they were already here. No, he's here. They brought him in. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of sirens out there today.
You know,
Gentlemen, People versus Shabazz.
I mean, we're waiting for Officer Fox. That's the problem. They're building with this.
Have we heard from Officer Fox? This one was scheduled at 9,
Looking at the schedules.
right?
9 o'clock.
Who'd we call?
Then I will call the supervisor.
I'll, sit. I'll give them a chance to get a response. Let's find out what's going on.
But you guys step out and
Yeah. And do you know are you handling the exam on Bradford?
Yes.
All right. And he's here. We got him in the building.
this is attorney check.
He doesn't have an attorney. He doesn't want an attorney. So buckle up. You spoke to Bradford?
No, I was just in the Zoom room while he was on the record.
Oh, was it a rodeo?
He was found competent, though. I did go back. Maybe I remember because like he said something about competency, so I pulled the circuit court case up, and she was determined competent in circuit court.
Yeah, I'm fine with saying when I'm king of the world, because when I'm king of the world, you know what the main criteria will be for competency to stand trial? Do you want to represent yourself? You're not competent.
Yeah. I had a 17-year-old in adult court. They stated incompetent, unrestorable yesterday. We finally all stipulated it, but that was sent from forensic psychiatry, not even the person we usually hire.
Right.
They think he's 17, he'll never figure it out. And because he's 17, he has maybe has an intellectual disability, not a psychiatric.
Right.
The statute for intellectual disability says individual 18 or older.
Doesn't even apply to him.
So they just dismissed it. They spent 2 weeks researching it. They said we can't figure anything out, so it's just dismissed and you just can go home.
Yeah. Yeah, once again, they changed some laws here and they don't.
They didn't think about anything else. If it was just stayed in juvenile court, they would do a hearing.
Yeah, whole different ballgame. Because they were ready for that, right? They've done that before. So much of what they do in Lansing has unintended consequences because they don't think things through.
No, not. But yeah, I don't think that exact set of circumstances will ever happen.
No, it's pretty strange. Pretty strange.
Yeah.
Mr. Kaplan.
They can answer the question. Original attorney for me.
Yeah.
Attorney William Oaks Court of Appeal. Apparently there was some disagreement with William Oaks banished from the case, replaced by Rodney Williams. Your Honor, discovery was provided to William Oaks. And then we sent an email today, the last few days, to the second lawyer, Rodney Williams, letting him know that the case is upcoming and, please provide.
Who was here last week when Judge Patton said provide two?
I wasn't following the case at that point. You really want.
All right.
But I do know that we've sent we can copy the email from their staff regarding.
All right. So we got to adjourn it because we got to get directed to him.
I do have a police report, you're gonna give my copy.
Okay. Do you want more than the police report? You're going to have to tell them what you want. They don't know what you want.
Plans on May 12th.
Say it again.
12th at 9 is the next opening.
For who? It's not my case.
Or if
It's yours.
then it's going to stay with us.
I'm just covering because she's not available today.
But that's the next opening
For
for anybody.
yeah, and that's the way we're doing it. Clear?
Your Honor, I'm gonna give a copy of the papers, started.
Okay. And I was having my own conversation about scheduling. So what else do you need besides that?
I don't have a video with me, Joe.
No. But we're going to get him discovery so he can prepare his exam. So you want the body cameras? What else you want? But sir, everything is not specific enough for me to enforce. Arraignment papers are not part of discovery. Arraignment papers are court issue stuff.
See,
They're,
Further along in the case, we'll have
what he just gave you is written discovery. That means that's all the documentation they have. So anything you want that is not documentation, like a body camera, then you got to ask for that. So you've asked for the body cam. Is there anything else you want?
witness statements.
That would be the written, wouldn't that be part of your written discovery?
It would be.
So any written documents, if it ain't in there, they don't have it. And if they come up with it at the exam, they can't use it. Follow me? All right. So other than documents, other than paperwork and the body cam, is there anything else you think you want? Okay, now here's the problem. They usually email digital discovery, right? Okay. Do you have access to that kind of equipment in the jail so you can get it? Then you can't get discovery. I'm not going to order them to walk down there and hand you a laptop at the jail. That's not what the prosecutor's office does.
Since this is taking so long, I'm quite sure I'm gonna be released on that case by the time they send it.
All right. Are you being held on this one? What's your bond on today's file? Do you know? Okay. All right. So do you have any idea when that's going to be resolved? The other case?
It's, waiting on these two cases are coinciding with each other. This one sold me up for that one sold me up for this.
Well, I can give you a new date for an exam on this one, but we still got to get your discovery before that new date. So how are you going to get your discovery? I just asked you that. So if you give an email address and they email that digital discovery to you, you'll get it.
I'll get it, but I have to be able to see what I'm gonna tell and get it from the jails.
But that's what I'm telling you. You're telling me you can't get out of jail until this case is over. This case ain't over until the exam gets done.
Just like go back to court, show them the progress of this. That's all he wants to see.
Okay, so when are you going back to court on the other one? Sure.
You don't need my help serving as.
No, go ahead. I'm always looking for help.
The discovery, it's not our fault, not your fault that he fired 2 lawyers. Judge, now he has the paper discovery, he can read you in the next hour if you don't mind. We're not introducing body camera evidence, therefore, he has no grief at this point.
So you're going just on officer's testimony for PC purposes?
Yes.
All right, so let's try that. You understand what the purpose for this exam is, right? It's not for them to prove to me you're guilty or not guilty. You understand that? Today is just probable cause. Which is a pretty low burden. I keep saying prosecutor has to convince me 2 things. 1, that a crime occurred, and 2, that looks like, there's reason to believe you were involved in the crime. You understand that's the burden?
Yeah.
It's a yes or no question, Mr. Bradford. Do you understand the burden? Okay. So what he's telling me is video's not coming in today. He's just going to put that guy right there on the stand, ask him some questions, and establish some facts through his testimony. Okay? I'm assuming, is that your report that he's holding in his hand, Officer Pearl? All right. So his report from the incident is what you've been given. So today, we probably don't have to get into digital discovery. We can get through today, then you'll have something to talk about at your next case.
No, it's the right officer. That was on his case. I don't know.
We're saying it is, so Michael,
I don't know if it is either. I wasn't there. But that doesn't change what I'm talking about. So his suggestion is I hold for a minute, just pause. We'll put you back in the cell, give you some time to, digest that paperwork in your hands. And then we'll come out here and we'll do a probable cause hearing, not a trial. And then at least we can accomplish something. So you're further along when you go to your next case. And hopefully you're that much closer to being on the street before this trial comes up downtown.
Something that pretty off of this.
Okay. Did what I just say make sense to you?
I don't know. So that, we like to be adjourned, so I can get everything, so I have everything, you know.
We have always the motion.
I understand that, but you can't give me a viable way for you to get everything. Everything includes the video footage, right? You're telling me you can't get your eyes on the video they email you until you're out of jail, but you can't give me any idea when that's going to be. Am I missing something? I'm sorry?
You give me a week, so get everything done.
The court date on the other file, you mean? And you think they're going to release you? What if they don't? Then what?
If we're ready to proceed now, we have our witness.
I'm going to hold it, Mr. Bradford. You can appeal me. I'm going to hold it. You want some time to review the paperwork before we hold it? Okay. We'll do that. This case is in recess.
Thank you.
All right.
You know what?
Pause. Just. Mr. Bradford, just so I can tell everybody when we're likely to get going. How much time do you think you need before we're ready to go? It's 10 o'clock now. 10:30? Okay. All right. Just so we can all plan. Thank you. Joe, is Bradford upstairs or downstairs? Upstairs.
Have you been up in months since Susan? Did your friends come? Oh, good.
We're supposed to go up this weekend. We got 6 of us be up there Friday. I'm going up early so I can pick up the trees. We ordered a bunch of seedlings. And we got 400 seedlings to put around side of
What?
it. It's doable. If the guys don't, like get exhausted out there or something. But I just got an email, mass email about everybody that ordered trees, and they're talking about some containerized trees not being available till next week. So I'm like, I need to know if my order is available, because I got people coming up, so you check my order, tell me if you got enough for my order.
Are they? What answers?
Seeds, mostly conifers, but some oaks, mostly conifers. And what is the good news, Mr. Kaplan?
Spots no longer is employed by the police agency, therefore, we won't be able to produce them this morning. We'll reauthorize the case judge.
Understood? Dismissed without prejudice. Did you post any cash bonds, sir? No cash. Okay, you're free to go then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you ready on Bradford?
Oh, you're already done. You knew it.
Yeah, we'll get a copy of the ROA or whatever we do. Right, Marianne?
They have a loose off salary very soon, so I just want to make sure.
He's got a tether, so he's got to have some paperwork to get the tether off.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, round him up. Bradford's right off the room here.
Oh, I have a sick right there. I'll bring you some paper, okay?
It'd be like that. Yeah, wait. Oh, yeah. Take that. We'll have that report.
Let's move on.
Yeah, you might as well bring him in.
Please sound helpful. Also.
I don't know if it's GPS or alcohol.
How are you?
Interesting.
Here, I got mine right here.
Well, thank you.
You wanna, I don't think there's anybody at the kiosk. You need the Belleville cop in here? Steve,
Officer Pearl.
hey, would you send the Belleville cop in here, Officer Pearl? Thanks. Mr. Bradford, have a seat, sir. Good morning. And Mr. Kaplan, are you ready?
We are doing things, we got one looking at it in the other.
All right, go ahead.
Judge, in this case, as you know, the defendant has been charged with third degree fleeing and eluding. We actually undercharged him. He committed allegedly fleeing and eluding third, and with the prior conviction, it becomes fleeing and eluding second, which is a 10-year felony as opposed to the 5-year felony.
And,
Therefore, at the conclusion of the exam, I will ask the court to find the case over on fleeing and eluding second.
okay. Mr. Bradford, you understand what he just told me?
Yes.
All right. Are you ready to proceed, sir?
No, I was waiting for my. Sorry.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're asking. I don't know what you're waiting for.
See myself.
Okay, any discovery? Okay, all right. Did you have a discovery order? Have you made a formal request for discovery? This is the first time I've seen this file, so I don't have any background on it.
I mean, you told the.
That's all right. Take your time.
You know, I think it's the, basically, stimulants. I was just.
Your entire permission to speak to the defendant and wind up possible any piece of charge, it might change the equation for him like a whole.
Sure. You mind having a discussion with Mr. Kaplan about what options are?
Clearly said in the ROA that the attorney was instructed to turn over discovery.
Maybe he did, you don't know.
I don't know who the attorney is. I know the quality of people you've got doing this work.
No.
You know the quality of people that are doing this work. We've got some fantastic, we've got some fantastic attorneys, and we've got some that just going through the motions.
I think that our case, could you just sign the bottom of it?
Going through the motions.
Yeah.
Collecting their paycheck.
Yeah, going through the motions.
Unbad. What?
Mr. Bradford, this is the ladder, like you got anything on a problem. Okay. Sorry. Study. I'm gonna check it here, study. So is the work else support? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Move, pull that mic down, you. You're, Mr. Bradford, yeah, get that closer. Do we get?
They're trying to vote something out.
Okay. Do you remember, was it Mr. Williams, the attorney, that was told to give you discovery?
I called actually someone in the defender's office. She told me his name was Butler, William Butler.
I mean, the attorney that Judge Patton told turned over discovery to you. Who was the attorney that heard that from Judge Patton? You know?
He was Butler, it wasn't William Butler.
Butler? I don't know that.
You pull out the show. What chain? If Williams was here.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy that represented you last week was Rodney Williams. I just hate to adjourn stuff because that's a whole lost day and that's another couple weeks down the road for you.
But, you know,
Well, let's see what he comes up with. He might offer you something you don't want to roll the dice.
Wait. If we take 400 seconds up in what? I mean,
Oh, well, I gotta go to Alpena to pick them up. But 400 ceilings will probably, if they were all in one bundle, they'd only be about like that.
400?
Yeah, they're literally, like this and that tall.
I can't imagine planting 400 of those. But that's long.
That's why it depends on how good the guys did the weekend I didn't make it, because what they were supposed to do is get it all scouted out. So this weekend, all we gotta do is go there and put them in, not figure out where to put them. Right? 'Cause we had a bunch of different spots where we had to figure out what, determine where in this area we were gonna plant, what we were gonna plant.
It's not all woods. It's not open, you have open property.
No, well, yeah, there's some, but mostly it's woods. But like, for example, one of the things, cause I got a grant, and if we do what the grant told us, then they give us money. They reimburse our costs. So for example, one of the things we want to do is plant conifers to give cover to the deer, because conifers create what they call thermal cover, right? So it's shade when it's hot, and when it's cold, it holds with the heat off the ground, it holds it so it's warmer there. So it might be open woods, but they don't have any cover. So we got to decide, do we want a little bedding area there, or do we want a little bedding area there? So the guys were supposed to do most of that last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, when I didn't go up there.
Well, do you send like a camera up above to see?
A lot of walking,
How many acres?
180,
How many?
480.
I didn't know, I didn't know that.
The trees will actually plant fairly quick, because you use what's called a diggler, it's like a spud. You step that down, you wiggle it back and forth, you pull it out, you stick the seedling in, you step on it, push it down. Then you six of those. Then you put a piece of pipe over that, put a weed killer all the way around it. Go to the next one.
It seems like it would take a lot to do that. You guys haven't done it.
Hope not. No, we haven't done it. This crew hasn't done it before.
Oh,
Couple of them did a couple last year.
wow.
And then anything that's not a conifer, so the oak trees, we got a couple different shrubs that are like elderberry, that kind of stuff. Those all have to be protected. They have to have tree tubes on them to keep the bunnies from nibbling them. And then eventually you got to put a cage around them to keep the deer from the tree. That's not all gonna get done this year. Right this weekend.
Is it even water? Do you have a pond?
We got ponds, we got a couple of little here and there.
So how long has this been in your?
Since the 40s. Yeah, going on 100 years.
Oh my God. Does anybody in scope of these signs? Like, is it just the oak leaves?
Yeah, it's my sentinel, I hold it now.
I didn't realize them.
No, right. It's 180.
683, like 4 acres. So it's over 1 square mile.
So what did you think to the grant? What made you think to do
I'm just always
it?
keep my ears open.
How did you?
Habitat, timber management improvement and wildlife habitat improvement.
Oh, okay.
So like one of the things is if we spend the time and do invasive species eradication, like autumn olive is a big problem, then they'll pay us so much an acre for doing that. So,
That was good thinking.
yeah, it's $40-some thousand over 5 years if we do it all.
This was the exact moment the judge's patience finally ran out in the courtroom. A man stood before the bench, charged with disturbing the peace. But the real issue wasn't the charge, it was his behavior. He kept cutting in, speaking over the judge again and again. At first, the judge remained composed. "It's not your turn to speak. Give me a moment." But the man refused to stop. He behaved as if he knew the law better, even turning down the offer of a lawyer. Then he argued the case should be dismissed because he had already been sent to a psychiatric facility. The judge shut it down immediately. Those charges are still active. And when the interruptions didn't end, the judge finally snapped. "I will mute you." That changed everything. The judge set his bond at $5,000, meaning he needed $500 in cash to walk free.